In the shadows of the internet, a kingdom was built, an empire of illicit goods led by the notorious Silk Road kingpin. This shadowy empire, tucked away in the farthest reaches of the web, was a marketplace like no other. A place synonymous with the term dark web, it was the Silk Road. The Silk Road was not just a marketplace, but a thriving hub of the digital underworld. It was a labyrinth, a hidden place where a myriad of illicit goods were bought and sold with impunity. Here, anonymity was the currency, and Bitcoin the medium of exchange. From narcotics to firearms, counterfeit money to stolen data, the Silk Road was a one-stop shop for everything illegal and untraceable. This murky marketplace was the lifeline of the underground economy, a platform where the black market met the digital age. But what made the Silk Road truly remarkable was the sheer scale of its operations. It was no back-alley black market. It was a vast empire, a digital dystopia that spanned the globe. Transactions worth millions of dollars were carried out every day, all under the watchful yet invisible eyes of the Silk Road kingpin. This kingpin, the ruler of this illicit empire, was as elusive as the platform he governed. He was a ghost in the machine, a puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows. His identity was his best-kept secret, his anonymity, his shield. He was an enigma wrapped in a digital riddle. His empire, the Silk Road, was the epitome of the dark web. It was the manifestation of a world where the conventional rules of law and morality didn't apply. A world where power was wielded not by the gun or the sword, but by code and anonymity. This was a realm where the rules of the conventional world didn't apply. The Silk Road was more than just a marketplace. It was a statement, a testament to the power of anonymity and a dark reflection of the digital age. It was the illicit empire in the shadows of the internet. As the kingpin of the Silk Road, he began as just an ordinary tech enthusiast. Immerse yourself in the early life of our kingpin, a world where technology was a fascination, not a tool for illicit activities. Raised in a suburban neighborhood, he was just another kid with a knack for computers. By day, he was a student, juggling schoolwork and the mundane pressures of adolescence. By night, however, he immersed himself in the digital realm, exploring the potential of the World Wide Web. His interest in technology was not a mere hobby, but an obsession. He was always on the hunt for more knowledge, more skills, more understanding. His curiosity was insatiable, leading him to delve into the complex worlds of coding, encryption, and eventually the dark web. As he navigated through his teenage years, he began to perceive technology as more than just lines of code. It was a frontier of endless possibilities, a canvas for his ambition. The seed of an idea began to take root, one that would eventually grow into the Silk Road. The inception of the Silk Road was not a sudden decision, but a calculated move. He saw a gap in the market, a demand that was not being met. The dark web was chaotic, unregulated, and ripe for a revolution. And so, he decided to bring some semblance of order to this anarchy. He aimed to create a platform where transactions could be carried out securely and anonymously. Harnessing his technical prowess, he began to build what would soon become the most notorious black market on the internet. Bit by bit, line by line, the Silk Road began to take form. It was a monumental task, a project that consumed him, but it was a challenge he was ready to accept. His ambition, however, was far from ordinary. Armed with savvy tech skills and an audacious spirit, the Silk Road kingpin began constructing his empire. The foundation of this digital fortress wasn't built with bricks and mortar, but with lines of code and layers of encryption. The Silk Road was a marketplace like no other, a clandestine corner of the internet hidden away from prying eyes. It was a modern-day bazaar where anything and everything could be bought and sold. But what made it truly unique was its untraceability. The kingpin's masterstroke was his use of Bitcoin, a digital currency that was still in its infancy. This was no coincidence. Bitcoin's decentralized nature made it the perfect currency for his operation. Transactions didn't need to pass through banks, and there was no paper trail. It was as if the money simply vanished into thin air, only to reappear in the kingpin's digital wallet. But the use of Bitcoin was only one piece of the puzzle. To truly make the Silk Road untraceable, the kingpin turned to the Tor network, a system that bounces internet traffic through a network of servers around the globe, effectively anonymizing the users. With Tor, the Silk Road was hidden in plain sight, a ghost ship sailing through the vast ocean of the internet, unseen and untraceable. Encryption was the final piece in the Kingpin's arsenal. Every message, every transaction, every single piece of data that passed through the Silk Road was encrypted. It was like a secret language, known only to the Kingpin and his trusted associates. It was a language that the authorities couldn't crack, no matter how hard they tried. The Silk Road was more than just a marketplace, it was an untraceable fortress. It was a grand castle in the digital realm, built not of stone and steel, but of code and cryptography. A fortress that, for a time, seemed invincible. At the height of his reign, the Kingpin was untouchable. Imagine a world where every illicit desire could be satisfied with just a few clicks. That was the reality of the Silk Road at its peak. It was a bustling marketplace, a haven for those who wished to remain unseen. The Kingpin, sitting atop this empire, was the puppet master, pulling the strings of this digital den of thieves. The Silk Road was not just a black market, it was a revolution, a testament to the power of the dark web. It was an empire built on anonymity, a kingdom hidden in the shadows. At its zenith, it was estimated to have generated over $1 billion in sales, a mind-boggling figure for an operation that existed solely in the digital realm. The Kingpin was in control, and he revelled in it, but, as the saying goes, pride comes before a fall. The Kingpin's success did not go unnoticed. Unbeknownst to him, the very technology that had allowed him to build his empire was also leading to his downfall. Law enforcement agencies across the globe were becoming increasingly aware of the Silk Road and its elusive Kingpin. The FBI, the DEA, and even Interpol joined forces to bring this digital empire to its knees. The investigation was a game of cat and mouse, a chase through the labyrinthine corridors of the dark web. The Kingpin was smart, no doubt about it. He had built a fortress, a virtual stronghold that seemed impregnable. But every fortress has a weakness, and the Kingpin's was his complacency. He believed he was invincible, a mistake that would cost him everything. As the net began to tighten, the Kingpin made a series of errors. He left a trail, breadcrumbs that the investigators were only too happy to follow. Bit by bit, they pieced together the puzzle, closing in on their elusive prey. The capture of the Kingpin was a moment of triumph for law enforcement, a victory in the battle against cybercrime. They had taken down the king of the dark web, the puppet master who had pulled the strings of an illicit empire. But it was also a sobering reminder of the power and reach of the dark web. A reminder that there were still countless others out there waiting in the shadows. The Kingpin's reign had come to an end. He had risen from obscurity to become the ruler of an empire, only to be toppled by his own hubris. His story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the inevitable consequences of operating outside the law. In the end, even the darkest corners of the web couldn't hide him. The fall of the Silk Road Kingpin sent shockwaves through the internet. His arrest marked the end of an era, a point where the seemingly untouchable online underworld faced a significant blow. The Silk Road, once a bustling marketplace for illicit goods, was abruptly shuttered. The digital storefront that had once been a hub for transactions of every sort, from narcotics to pirated software, was no more. Suddenly, the dark web had lost one of its most infamous landmarks. The legal proceedings that followed his capture were nothing short of historic. The trial was a spectacle, drawing international attention and setting precedents for cybercrime legislation. The Kingpin was convicted on all counts, including conspiracy to commit money laundering, computer hacking, and drug trafficking. His sentence? 2 life terms plus 40 years, without the possibility of parole. The severity of the sentence sent a clear message. Even in the shadowy corners of the internet, no one is above the law. Yet the impact of the Silk Road Kingpin's reign extended far beyond his own fate. His capture and the subsequent shutdown of the Silk Road sparked a ripple effect across the dark web. Law enforcement agencies around the world were emboldened, leading to a surge in investigations and prosecutions of similar online black markets. The dark web was no longer a safe haven for criminal activities. However, the Silk Road left behind more than just a power vacuum in its wake. It changed the way we view the internet, highlighting the dual-edged sword of online anonymity. It showed us that the web is not just a tool for communication and knowledge sharing, but also a platform for illicit activities. Yet despite the dark legacy, the Silk Road also sparked discussions about online privacy, surveillance, and the role of cryptocurrencies. It showed us the potential of technology to disrupt traditional systems, for better or worse. His reign was over, but his legacy was undeniable. The tale of the Silk Road kingpin serves as a stark reminder of the power and dangers of the dark web. The story is not merely a thrilling saga of an illicit empire, but also a reflection of pressing issues in our increasingly digital world. One cannot talk about the Silk Road without mentioning its implications for internet privacy. The site operated on Tor, a software enabling anonymous communication, which is a double-edged sword. While it can be a haven for activists and whistleblowers, it can also be a breeding ground for illegal activities, as we've seen with the Silk Road. This brings us to the issue of cybercrime. The Silk Road's existence underscores the urgent need for robust cybercrime laws and effective enforcement. While technology has made our lives easier, it has also given criminals new ways to operate. The kingpin of the Silk Road was able to run a multi-million-dollar empire from his laptop. This should serve as a wake-up call for governments and law enforcement agencies worldwide. Then there's the matter of cryptocurrencies. The Silk Road was one of the first platforms to accept Bitcoin, contributing to the cryptocurrency's rise. Cryptocurrencies provide an opportunity for financial inclusion and innovation, but they also pose significant risks. The pseudonymous nature of Bitcoin allowed the Silk Road to flourish, circumventing traditional financial systems and regulations. This demonstrates the need for a balanced approach to cryptocurrency regulation, one that fosters innovation while preventing misuse. In conclusion, the Silk Road saga is a microcosm of the broader issues we face in the digital age. It raises important questions about privacy, crime, and financial systems in a world increasingly connected by technology. This story is a testament to the fact that, as much as we evolve and innovate, the need for ethical considerations and safeguards become equally important. In the digital age, the line between innovation and criminality is thinner than ever. The Silk Road kingpin's story is one of ambition, innovation, and downfall. A tale that commenced in the realm of anonymity, the dark web, where a young man's audacious dream to create a black market bazaar evolved into an empire worth millions of dollars. This tale is a stark reminder of the boundless potential of technology when used with audacity and innovation. However, it also serves as a chilling warning of how these same tools can pave the way for illicit activities when left unchecked. The rise of the Silk Road kingpin was built on the pillars of anonymity and decentralization that the dark web and cryptocurrencies provide. The aftermath of this saga left a significant impact on the digital world. The fall of the Silk Road resulted in a global crackdown on similar online black markets, leading to a more stringent and regulated digital landscape. In today's digital era, where technology is evolving at an unprecedented pace, the story of the Silk Road kingpin holds more relevance than ever. It compels us to question and scrutinize the ethical implications of technological advancements. As we venture further into the digital frontier, one cannot help but remember the rise and fall of the Silk Road kingpin, a saga that continues to resonate in the annals of the digital world, reminding us of the power and potential, the risks and ramifications of the boundless digital landscape we navigate every day. Now, if you found this video informative, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.